Do you have your eyes set on Raleigh, North Carolina, but unsure if you should be inside the city limits or somewhere on the outskirts or in the suburbs? Well, hey, in this video today, that's exactly what we're going to discuss. We're going to help you identify which area you think may be good for you, because there are some areas that I personally think are better than Raleigh, North Carolina. Of course, this is all based on your lifestyle. Now, I will say that I did leave a bonus for last, and I personally think this bonus is a sleeper. There's a lot of people that are flocking to that specific area for many different reasons. You know, some of them, of course, being the location, some of them being maybe not so much of affordability, and of course the school. But you're gonna want to stick around to see exactly what that area is and see if that's an area that you want to move into as well. With that being said, let's go ahead and discuss the 5 areas that people are moving to see if it's a good fit for you. What's up everyone, Roney Polynice here. If this is your first time on this channel and you are seeking for information about the top 5 cities that everyone is moving to work, eat, sleep, play, do whatever it is that they want to do, hey, you're in the right place. Second off, you're going to want to make sure you hit the subscribe, like, and the bell so you're notified every time we do one of these videos so you don't miss a beat. You know, we love getting these phone calls from individuals either seeking for more information or actually they're moving to the area and they need some sort of help. Because who wants to get on a plane nowadays just to find out what an area is like? Let's take advantage of this technology, right? So if you're one of those individuals, make sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, email, day or night, heck, maybe even on the weekends. I got your back in this market. With that being said, the discussion about the top 5 cities that people are moving to is going to be more of a understanding for me and yourself, so you can understand why people are moving to certain areas more than others. And it's not here to try to steer you in one direction over another. I truly indeed want you guys to be able to make sound decisions and know that this is where you want to be. I think there's nothing worse than a feeling of moving to a place that you no longer like and you're stuck there for X amount of years or months, whatever the case may be. You know, again, this video is to make sure that, we're helping you make those decisions so that it's a decision that does support your lifestyle, does support, whoever's tagging along with you. But don't forget, I did leave the sleeper for last, so you're going to want to stick around for that one. The first one we're going to talk about is Apex, the peak of good old living. We're going to start there because I actually personally used to live there, so I can give you my personal experience on the entire place. I no longer live there, so that's not a bad thing, I'll tell you that. It's a great place to be for several different reasons. You have the nature that you can take advantage of. There is a trail, I believe it's called, oh man, how am I forgetting this right now? Tobacco Trail, there it goes. And it actually is one of those trails that starts somewhere in Raleigh, I'm not sure exactly where, but it actually leads all the way to Durham, North Carolina. So if you ever complete one of those, kudos to you. It's a pretty long one. I think it's like 22 miles long. Beautiful though, I will say, beautiful, especially during the fall. It's one that you just have to experience for yourself. I can't say more, but yes, Apex, beautiful place. You do have the downtown area that you can take advantage of. It's a lot more historic. Now, it's not so much of where you're gonna go to party or have some sort of big scenery. It's not a big nightlife scenery, I should say, but it does have a downtown where it does have different shops, restaurants, little lounges. It's a place that you can hang out with. So in my opinion, it's kind of like a good place for the family, everyone to kind of get along, get together, and kind of enjoy the outdoors, or even just enjoy each other's presence. Another thing I'll add on to it, Apex is getting a bit up there in terms of price. So if you are looking in terms of homes, you are gonna have to go deep into those pockets just a little bit. You're not gonna have to go too deep, and I think that is a big reason because of the location. Location of Apex is prime. You're not too far from the airport. You're not too far from RTP. You're not too far from Raleigh. You're really close to a lot of different things, so you're not gonna have to do too much traveling and worrying about, hey, how am I gonna get to X, Y, and Z in a matter of time. When I was living there, again, I'm not the type of person to go to the airport extremely early. I'm one of those individuals where I want to go to the airport and get through the line fairly quickly and get right on a plane and not waste time. So I was able to do that in Apex because being fairly close, I was getting to the airport maybe an hour before my flight, Very risky though. So please, if you're not a risky person, you don't like to feel certain ways, don't run that risk. But that just goes to show you that, hey, being close to the airport, you do have the ability to cut down on that time there to get through that line, hopefully, and make it to your flight on time. But Apex, great place. In my opinion, I think you should check it out, do some more research, or even if you have more questions, give me a call. I also see a lot of people choose this area because of the schools. So according to School Digger and some of the other public information that you'll see, Apex has one of the highest rankings within the Wake County. I mean, I'm sure there is another area that I'm going to discuss right after this. So that's another area that I see a lot of people moving to that area because of schools. But for now, we're going to focus on the Apex area. And that's just from my past clients and from even current clients. That's just kind of what I see. The second one I'm going to discuss is Cary. Cary is actually the third largest city in the triangle in itself, and I see a lot of people moving to this area, at least clients that I've worked with in the past or even clients that I'm currently working with. They always inquire about Cary. And the one thing that they always want to know about, or at least why Cary piques an interest to them, is because of the schooling here and the location. How close it is to Raleigh in itself. That's two of the key things I would say that has driven a lot of individuals to move to the area. Now, of course, you have a ton of more things to do. I mean, if this is a place where you have the ability to have golf courses in your backyard, this is a place where you have a mini downtown, not too large, but you still have that aspect of downtown feel that you can take advantage of. However, you can only anticipate, because what Apex deals with on the expensive side, Cary is definitely going to get it on the expensive side as well. So you're going to have to dive deep into those pockets to make sure that you can afford the home, I should say. I'm only really talking about real estate. Outside of real estate, things can obviously fluctuate, be variable in that aspect. Another thing that I would add about Cary is very self-sustained. I mean, it has a ton of places where you can go shop, shopping centers. I mean, it's everywhere. So you won't necessarily have an issue. You won't necessarily have a problem with traveling to the grocery store just to go pick up milk at maybe 8 p.m. at night. It's a personal experience that I'm just talking about right there. Go ahead and comment below of any areas that you heard of or any areas that you're leaning towards to actually moving to. And if you have any questions about that area, please just leave it in the comments below, and I'll be sure to help you get that information or even give you the information that you're seeking for. I'm curious to know myself, what area are you leaning towards, or even what areas have you heard to be the best? The third one I'm going to talk about is a tricky one, and I only say that because I don't understand completely why a lot of people are moving there. Now I could be, I could be saying this based off of the lifestyle that I like to live and just what I do on a daily basis. So this one is Clayton, actually, and Clayton is a lot further out. No, I shouldn't say a lot. I'm over exaggerating at this point. It could be about 30 minutes out from Raleigh in itself. So that aspect is, a bit of a downfall for myself. Also, I will say that it's a bit more rural, so you get a little bit more of the countryside of North Carolina, and at least kind of what you see in the movie with a lot of land. That's kind of what you get from Clayton in itself. Not so much of a downtown area. Again, this is not so much of the lifestyle that I prefer to live. So that's one of the areas that I see a lot of people moving to. Now, my belief on why a lot of people are moving to this area has probably very little to do about the area. It's probably more about what is actually happening in the world right now. And I personally think a lot of people have been getting priced out in terms of real estate prices, right? The type of home that they can afford is no longer whether they can afford inside or fairly close to Raleigh, North Carolina. Given that Clayton is about 30 minutes out, you're getting the ripple effect of the rural area. But I will say, it is a slower paced town. It's not a fit for me, I will say, because it is moved at a much slower pace, given that it is very rural and it does have, those areas of the farmers, the crops. Doesn't really have much going on. There's not too much of attraction there. But if you're not opposed to it, that's nothing like your lifestyle, then you really don't have anything to worry about. You could definitely take advantage of that and still have the ability to be fairly close to Raleigh in itself. The fourth one I'm going to talk about is good old Wake Forest. Now, Wake Forest, its location is very, very unique. The layout of what's going on in that city is extremely unique because, rush hour, just forget about it. It's really a 2-lane in and out of getting to Wake Forest. It could be a bit of a headache. So if you do have to experience the rush hour, that could be a reason why you don't really consider that area at all. Now, niche.com does say this is a great place for schools. So if you're someone that's all in with schools, education is key, that's what you want, this may be an area that you do consider and just kind of bite the bullet of the commute time and all that, because there is a ton more things to do in the area of there. Again, Raleigh, North Carolina in general does a phenomenal job with showing you the nature, giving you the ability to go walk. So I don't think in any one of these cities you're going to have an issue with, simply because that's what North Carolina does really, really well. As far as the shops goes, I will say Wake Forest is very self-sustained, meaning there is a ton of different shops, restaurants, places that you can go to. Now, I will say it's not so much of local shops. I would say it's more of like the chains that you'll see. So given that you'll see that, you won't have an issue of worrying about, hey, given the distance and where Wake Forest is really located, you won't really have to worry about that, because they do have their own really well developed, really well built out, and I'm sure it's going to even improve, but it's just getting in and out of there, man. That is probably the only headache. The fifth one I'm going to talk about is Holly Springs, which is a further south of Raleigh in itself. Not too much to do here, but it is a developing city, I will say. So I'm sure within the next couple of years you're going to have a ton more stuff to do, and the things that you can attract, whether it's you, your kids, or whoever it is that you're tagging along with you. Holly Springs does have the Tink Stadium, which is a huge plus, I personally think, because you do have baseball and soccer right at your disposal, right there, right, where you can go and just watch any sporting event. On a smaller level, it's not any professionals, probably more of the collegiate level, so you do have that ability. But you also can take advantage of the stadium in itself, where they host a lot of concerts. If you want to have the kids go play some sporting events there, that's probably where they're going to be playing, so you have that. And for my beer drinkers, you do have 2 breweries that you can check out and try different beers and do all that. I'm not so much of a beer drinker, so I can't really tell you anything about it. But if you do like to take a cold one right to the lake and go fishing, they do have 2, again, lakes that you can go fishing at. And I will say that, I just like to emphasize on the 2, because just to kind of give you an idea of how large and how small, Holly Springs is in comparison to the other cities around it. However, I do want to add, if you are someone that loves and enjoys fishing, hey, please give me a ring, please. I've been trying to learn for a very long time, but I haven't found the person that's willing to be patient with me and give me the time and teach me how to do it. So if you're one of those, give me a ring and let's go out there and let's go catch something. Now, like I said, I was gonna leave you guys with a bonus, something like a sleeper that I personally think a lot of people don't really know about this city. And it's because it really doesn't show up on the map to say. It's there, but it's very small, because it is a small city, but I personally think it's one of the key cities that I think in Raleigh, or at least close to Raleigh, North Carolina, because of several different reasons. One, it's really, really close to the airport. So if you are someone that needs to be next to the airport, you do a lot of traveling in and out of the city, that could be a place you're gonna look at. But keep in mind, it is fairly expensive. And of course, whatever your expensive means, it could be something that's within your budget. Great. Now I hope I put this on your radar so that you can go ahead and take advantage of what Mooresville has to offer. I think, again, the key thing with Mooresville is location. I can't repeat it enough. And that's the big thing with real estate in itself, is the location itself. But that's what Mooresville, in my personal opinion, offers, because you are close to, of course, the airport, RTP. You still have access to Cary, Apex, Raleigh. You're right there in the middle of the action of it all. So you can have fun just as much as everybody else. I think the only big downfall that I personally will say is the construction. It is a city that is still going through the development of construction, as a lot of businesses, corporations are moving to the RTP area, which Mooresville then kind of receives that ripple effect of it all. But besides that, you're gonna have your self-sustainable city that has a lot of the parks, restaurants, things that you can go check out. I have heard a lot of international foods being in that city. I haven't personally tried it. I definitely do, so I'll probably do another video on that one to give back my feedback on that for you guys. But with that being said, that's my sleeper, Mooresville. Check that out. Let me know if you guys have any questions on any of the few cities that I've talked about above. Or even if you have a city that, again, I don't know about, I did discuss, and you have more information, or you want more information on that city. And with that being said, this is what I love doing, understanding the area, understanding the layout, to then share it with you all. Because I understand that you may not all know what's going on here, and you want to know for the sake of, wherever you're trying to move to, whoever's tagging along with you, what you do, what you don't like. And these are some of the things that I would love for you to be able to share with me, so that we can go ahead and place you right in that right city with very little stress on your hand, so that you know exactly where you want to be. Because I would hate for myself, honestly, to be in a place where I don't want to be there no more, and you purchased already a home, and now you're stuck there, and now you have to figure out your next plan, and it's just chaotic after that point. So allow me to help you make that decision in finding a place for you to be. Again, the only way for us to really help is if you reach out to us. So you have to reach out in order for me, and that could be giving me a phone call, shooting me a text, or email, day or night, heck, maybe on the weekends. And when you do, please be sure to share with us a few things that you like, some things that you don't like, and so we can understand your lifestyle a little bit best and know exactly where it would be best for you. Until next time, I'll catch you guys on the next video.